Hey guys, Dan here. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm not doing so great. I'm extremely sick at the moment. Kind of on the mend a little bit today, but it's been going right through my entire family. It's winter here in Australia, and it happens. So I saw something today, and I wanted to actually come on. Excuse me if I'm a bit clogged up, guys. I wanted to actually come on and just have a little talk with you guys about it because um, one thing that I see with newer entrepreneurs coming into this business or any business really is they think they feel like things should be very smooth sailing. Everything should just go to plan if they do the things that they perceive as correct, and it will just all happen for them. That is never, ever the case in business. There are so many unforeseen circumstances that always happen. That being an entrepreneur, you really need to develop extremely good problem solving skills. And you also need to develop somewhat of a stoic nature where certain things that come at you that are obstacles and hurdles to your success don't necessarily cause you too much stress. You need to approach them systematically and intelligently, without emotion, really, right? Because that's what's going to happen throughout your entire journey in life, not just in business. But business is an amplifier of hardship, right? A lot of people get into business because they want freedom, and it can absolutely offer you that. But you need to go through more extreme hardship than the regular person working a 9 to 5 in order to attain that. It's just how it is. There is no shortcuts or workarounds when it comes to this. So, what I wanted to show you is a really good example of this, where people think like some of the big names out there are just floating on clouds and they got their feet up and nothing bad ever happens to them. In fact, the larger you grow, the more stake, the more skin you have in the game, the harder the hits are, right? So a lot of the time, like some of these big players might have millions and millions of dollars tied up in certain things. This has happened to me, right? This is a total different thing, but it's sort of it's on par with what I'm saying. Had a lot of money tied up in Facebook ads and a launch that we spent 3 months on, ready to go. And we launched, and our account got hacked, not by our fault, through Facebook's system, and they shut everything down. And this was a year ago, and still to this day, I'm still fighting to get that account back because we spent millions of dollars on Facebook ads on that account. And Facebook's worse than Amazon. They'll take your stuff and they'll never ever give it back, right? At least with Amazon, we have processes where we can get things back. But it's more so the data. The data that we spent so much money on inside of that Facebook account to get particular audiences, gone overnight, gone. Our launch gone, complete failure. 3 months of preparing for it, getting everything in place to launch, and gone. Right, so the more skin you've got in the game, the heavier the hit, right? When you're just starting out in a business like publishing and you get hit with an adversity, it might feel like the end of the world, but really you haven't lost a whole lot except for a little bit of time and effort. Yeah. So this is a really good example that I wanted to show you of some of the bigger players that still get hit with hardships. Now let's take a look here. So I saw this today. I'll just shrink my head down. I saw this today. This is Alex Hormozi, right? He has a book on KDP, and he created a companion workbook, which is against policy. Right? I'm not really up to scratch with all of that sort of stuff, like workbooks and low and no content stuff. It's not what I do, but I do know it's against policy to create a companion guide for someone else's book. However, in this instance, Alex had his book blocked, and he wrote the original book for this on Amazon. And here he said he's trying to do little shifties. I've been in this business for 12 years. I haven't been able to find an insider guy. But, Alex has a wider network than I do, so maybe. He's done... Do you know anyone who works on the KDP content review team? I wish we did, but unfortunately, no. No, Alex, we don't. But we do have a system to help people get books unblocked. And obviously this has been erroneously blocked by him. by Amazon, I mean. Because if you don't know who Alex is, just let me show you. This is Alex here, Alex Hormozi. He is one of the biggest names in internet marketing on the planet right now. Okay, and so even someone with him who wrote this original book, and it's a #1 bestseller, not just on Amazon but in multiple places, still had books blocked, which could lead to an account termination if he doesn't do the right things and the right processes to get that book unblocked. Yeah, so this is a really good example of something that I was talking about recently. You can see here with Kathy. Kathy was feeling a little bit discouraged for having a book blocked, I do believe it was. Sorry guys, I just had a phone call and I forgot where I was up to. I do believe I was talking about Alex Hormozi, obviously. Yes, he had a book blocked this morning. And then, yeah, that's right. Kathy was a little discouraged about having a blocked book, but more so that, see, our process states that you should not do anything. Don't publish any further while you have a blocked book. You can absolutely still prepare books to publish, do your metadata research, do your covers, do your manuscripts, get them all there ready. And some students will continue to publish, but look, when you have a blocked book on your account, it's like kind of like the first check mark on a red flag on the algorithm, because the algorithm, let's be real, the algorithm makes all of these decisions. And it's clear with Alex Hormozi, right? They've blocked it because it's a companion guide, but the algorithm wasn't intelligent enough to realize it's a companion guide to his own book. So if he does the right things here, he'll have that book unblocked. But it could take him 2 weeks, 3 weeks to have that book unblocked, because unless they do find an insider guy, which is probably unlikely, right? These guys don't want to lose their job to help out old Alex Hormozi here. But he will get it back. And we have a process, a very detailed process that can help you get your block books back as well. The way to do that is you just go up here to find that, to search and type in something along these lines. So what we want to actually look for here is inside. It would have been better to do it in FAQs, most likely. Yeah. So here's the flowcharts. So blocked book recovery and account recovery flowcharts, right? So when you open these up, we have a very detailed process that tells you what to do step by step along the way. It's a matrix of how to get your book unblocked, and including links and different things onto videos that explain more. But essentially, like, the process is this: be extremely consistent, be committed to getting your book unblocked, because it could take time. Understand that you should not let's just go back to that, Kathy, but you should understand that you should not publish anything in the meantime, because the algorithm now has like a black mark on your account because your book got blocked, even if it was erroneously, like you can see with Alex Hormozi. And then so moving forward and just publishing with blocked books allows that they will be very picky with everything, and you might get something else erroneously blocked, which could lead to a suspension or even a termination. So when something happens on your account, you need to address it before you continue. And that can be disconcerting because it can take a lot of time and you didn't even do anything wrong. But like I said, this is business. In the beginning of this video, you need to develop that thick skin. You need to approach these things systematically and stoically, without emotion, and just go through the motions. We have them all there outlined for you guys in order to, have your account put back into appropriate standing. So just gonna go back to find where did we talk about this with Kathy? Here. So I went ahead and I explained that here, like with the FBA guys, we're extremely lucky in this business because the most skin we really put in this game, we don't run ads, we don't outsource. There's no money down every single day. The only skin we really put in this game is our time and effort, which is valuable too, guys. But like I said with these FBA guys, Amazon with their change in policy recently on the FBA side, they've been hitting everybody with quality terminations on their accounts. They're terminating their accounts because they're saying your product is not up to our quality standards. And often these guys have $100,000 plus tied up in product. They've got, containers sitting on ships in the ocean on their way to Amazon warehouses that need to be turned around somehow. They've got staff in their own warehouses. They've got so much to lose. So that's what I'm saying. People that have more money and more skin in the game have more to lose. We're very, very extremely lucky. If we, worst case scenario, had an account termination erroneously or by our own doing, by breaking policy, we can open a new one and start again with our catalog already ready to go. So we have our product because we've been working on it, right? The most important thing I look at in this business is I keep my product safe. If I have my covers, metadata, and manuscripts safe, I can always pick up where I left off if Amazon did anything outrageous. But I've never really had an account that has been terminated erroneously that we haven't got back with persistence and following those matrices that I showed you, right? So what this video is really about is I want to help you understand that in any business, there is no smooth sailing. No matter whether it's publishing, but in publishing is a better one than most because you don't have that much skin in the game that you're going to lose your house and the bank's going to repossess things from you because there's no output of expenditure, which makes this an extremely unique business. And truthfully, you guys are so lucky to be here learning this business because every other business is going to require so much more financial investment from you than this one, which means you've got more skin in the game and more to lose. And believe me, you can lose in any business, not just this one. Amazon's not the big bad, evil, like, sure, they don't treat us how they should, right? But they're dealing with massive amounts of people trying to game their system consistently, and human power just can't do it. So they algorithmically police the platform, and therefore things erroneously get blocked, erroneously get terminated, and we can do everything right and that can still happen, which is just part of the business. It's just where that in that instance you need to go, okay, as soon as that happens, I'm going to go to that flowchart matrix and I'm going to follow the motion systematically. I'm going to get this book unblocked and I'm going to do it without emotion, without being upset. I know that's hard, right, guys? We're all human beings, we're emotional beings. But in business, you kind of need to put that to the side and you need to really systematically follow the processes to make these things, to undo these things that have been done to us. And even that terminology, saying it's done to me, that kind of puts us in a mind frame of a bad mind space, right? So I would say things that have been done to our business, for example, like the way that we frame things really does matter, because the way that we frame it inside our own heads will determine whether we are victims of this circumstance or if we can do everything within our power to bring this circumstance back in line with our control, right? So that's how you need to really approach business. So anyway, guys, hopefully that helped you all, especially the new people to business, because it's not going to be smooth sailing. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be extremely rewarding if you can stick with this for the long haul and actually make this happen for yourself against all of the odds that may come against you. Because to borrow from Hunger Games, the odds are actually not in our favor when it comes to business. They are against us, just like those games in Hunger Games are made in such a way that they're against the players, right? We are the players of this entrepreneurial game, and all the systems are designed to ensure that not everyone can become successful. because society doesn't want that. The powers that be don't want that. So only the people that stick with it through thick and thin and are able to set aside their emotions really earn that success level and that freedom. And I'm behind all of you guys, right? That's why I'm making videos like this, because a lot of gurus out there, they won't sit here and tell you this stuff because it's going to scare you away. It'll scare people away. But it's the reality of it. So if I lie to you guys and say it's easy, don't worry, hey, anyone can do it. Just stay consistent and you'll be fine. These things are true as well to an extent. But I would be lying to you if I didn't, if I hid part of the truth. And a big part of business is difficulty. All right, guys, I hope you'll have a great day. The sooner we can all swallow that pill, it is hard to swallow, and move forward into our businesses, understanding these things and these processes and what's going to happen, the closer to success you will be. You all have a great day. Ciao.